Today we'll be reviewing the 1:64 scale Steiger 400 Prestige collection made by Ertl. Welcome back to Winter's Model Farms. We've got nearly 1,000 farm toys in our collection, and we try to do reviews on new farm toys that we purchase, as well as some displays and some other cool things from time to time. So today's video on this Steiger 400 is going to be one where we take a look at some details on this piece, as well as compare it to the 450 Authentics number 3 that came out years ago. And we have that here, so we'll be doing a comparison of that to give you kind of a reference point to go by. So this one is in this nice box. You can see it's got a good window, so if you wanted to just put it on a shelf, never open it, you can still appreciate the model while keeping the integrity of the packaging in check. So we've got 1:64 scale Ertl. It is 14 plus, so this is an adult collectible, as you can see. Prestige, and then a nice Steiger 400 down there. We got the stats over here. The engine's a Iveco 12.9 liter 6-cylinder diesel, 400 horsepower, 310 gallon fuel capacity, 340 PTO horsepower. The rear has kind of got just a, I don't know, advertising, you could say. Some toys Ertl makes for case in different scales, you can see there. Then we got the info in French over here. The top, pretty similar to the front. The bottom, you know, it's got all this kind of stuff going on. So that is that. I'm going to pause the video and get this thing unboxed. And here it is. So this is the 400 Steiger. I think they did a really good job on it, and as I suspected back when they first announced they were going to make it in the catalog, it is pretty much a redo of the 450 Authentics number 3. And I'm not complaining about that. I think that's a good thing. I think this is one of the better toy tractors Ertl has ever made. Possibly one of the best as far as tractors go. I think the Authentics line was some of the best Ertl did in 1:64 scale. So I'm happy to get a remake of one of those toys, because these have gotten kind of high on price. So this gives you an affordable, well, a more affordable, it's not necessarily affordable, they're still high, option that competes for high detail with something like a spec cast would do. We'll just start on this thing. Oh, I will mention in the box, the mirrors are in the back of the packaging, so you'll want to make sure you don't throw your mirrors away. I've got another one, I ordered 2 of these, so you can see your mirrors are back here, so make sure you don't throw your mirrors away and you get your mirrors out when you unbox this, and then they'll clip into those little holes. It's pretty easy to do. You'll clip them in and they'll just snap right in place. So don't throw your mirrors away. We've got an opening hood on this thing, so that is a good detail. You can see here the engine, a lot of engine detail. See your hoses, your radiator, all that detail there, as well as our engine shields. You can see the detail down there. Nice front weights across the front of this thing. So that's a nice detail. You can see our 400 HD Case IH Steiger. We've got our grill, nice Case IH logo. We've got our headlights, which are really shiny, reflective silver, so that's going to be a little different from our 400 Authentics. You can see the headlights, they've used different stickers on there. This one's just kind of got like pictures of a headlight, where this is more like a chrome reflective piece. Now, one thing I just did notice, so you see here on the bottom, we've got a bunch of detail, but you see a hole here and a hole there. On the Authentics, we actually had the cable. So you can see this cable. It's made out of rubber. Run all the way back to here. And so on the real one, that cable is like, if you get stuck, you can hook onto that and pull this machine out. so it's tied in a safer way to pull the machine out than to just hook to the front or back of it. And that cable is not on the Prestige, so they did not include that detail, which is a little disappointing. One little corner Ertl cut, but I'm not going to complain too much there. But you can still see along the bottom all the detail under here, as well as our cylinders for the articulation. And I will say this has got a good range of articulation. Those cylinders aren't very strong, as you can see. It just the weight of it, it just turns. Our 450 has stronger cylinders. It can kind of hold it in the position you put it. A little bit stiffer cylinders, but not a big deal whatsoever. I'm just glad it has a good range of motion, because some Ertl four-wheel drives do not, but this one has a great range of motion there. Also underneath, you can see here a bottom view of our hitch. So we do have a very realistic hitch. It's not going to be one that you can hook your Ertl implements to, but it does have, if you just scale that out in 1:64 scale, it's going to be way more accurate than the ones that you can hook their Ertl implements to. We also get a movable 3-point hitch. See there, they've done a good job with that 3-point hitch. You can move it all over the place. We do have some tail lights, reflectors, slow moving vehicle triangle. We got our flasher bar across the back, which I think is a great detail. I think that looks really good, as well as our fuel cap. And then we've got some handrails here. So when you're climbing up on here to fuel your machine, you've got the steps, handrails, so you can get to the fuel cap and fill the machine. You can see some detail there as well in your articulation joint. We've got a ladder over here, more handrails. We've got handrails on the back going up through here. We've got lights, Case IH logo, more lights on the side. We've got our flashing light here, as well as our mirrors, which do move. Nice air intake, windshield wiper there, windshield wiper on the rear. Other mirror moves as well, more handrails. We have our exhaust. We've got our GPS up top. You can see, well, maybe you can see Case IH on the side of that. It's on both sides. Our hood is pretty good. You can see the detail there into the casting. Good 400 HD Case IH Steiger logos, and like I said, it does open. As well as you can see the detail here on this step. Then some more lines over there. And then the door does open. Let's see if I can get it. May have to grab something to assist me in opening this door, but the door does come open. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just realized while I'm having trouble opening this door is because there appears to be, I guess part of the packaging, a little rubber band still around the door. So didn't even notice that. So you want to take that rubber band off, preferably before you put your mirrors on like I did. And then that will make it a whole lot easier to open your door. So, well, I said that, and then now I can't. It helps if your fingernails are a little bit longer. But anyways, so the door will open, as you saw, to reveal your interior. Now, the interior is pretty phenomenal. I mean, you can see the detail on the floor. You've got your pedal way over there, the little orange pedal. We've got red seats. The steering wheel could have, they could have cut out the plastic in there and just left the spokes. That would have probably been a nice detail that they neglected. But as far as everything else in there, you can see your screen looks great. You can see your controls right there where your hand would go. You got the buttons and the controls. So really good detail on that control center there next to the seat. And just overall good detail in there. So at even the steps, you can see the paint detail here. And you can see all the details here, the silver paint here, the black down here on the bottom step. So just a ton of detail on this thing. And again, compare that to the 450 and pretty much identical. One thing too, these tires and rims are pretty good, but the rims here, what they did was they basically pressed them onto an axle, and so they look a little more realistic to me than these old ones, which had a rivet, and you can see the rivet there. And where it really shows up is on this side, where the rivet takes up a big space of that middle. So I think these new ones, they did do that right. So I think that's a point towards these over the Authentics. But overall, very, very well done. Like I said, it's pretty much the same as the Authentics. A few minor differences, mainly being how decaling, stickers, and then no cable on this one, and then the different way of mounting the tires. I'd say the paint is slightly different, and I don't know if it's just because of my 450 is so old or what, but the paint is a little more bright red on this newer one, and you can see it's a little more faded maybe looking on that Authentics, and I don't know, like I said, it's going to be hard for you to see it on the camera. I don't know if it's just because my 450 set around for a while, but it definitely has a little brighter red, a little shinier on the 400. And these would have been made at the same time in real life. They had 350, 400, and 450 would have been your row crop Steigers. So they came with a little smaller frame, narrower hood, as well as, usually row crop duals. And so in real life, these things would have been made at the same time. I'm really glad to get this 400. I remember when I was younger, there was a farmer near here. He actually leased my dad's farm for a little while, and he had some 400s that he ran on his farm before eventually upgrading to some 420s, some newer Steigers. So I think it's cool to get this 400. So thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments if you'll be picking one of these up and your thoughts on this. Like I said, I think this has potential to be one of the better farm toys that's come out this year. So thanks for watching. Hope this video helps you out.